All right, we're live. We're on to Denver. Landry Locker, Cody Stutes with you. It is SNL 6 o'clock today. We heard from CJ Stroud. We heard from D'Amico Ryans. We saw some familiar faces, which leads to some familiar yet unfamiliar questions. Before we get into all this stuff that's going on at NRG, and there's a lot of intrigue about this game. I've just got to ask, where I could not answer this question. So I sat on the fence. I racked myself yesterday, and I think a lot of the locker room viewers, 10:30 Monday through Friday, were a little bit disappointed, Cody, because I said, I'm putting an imaginary gun to your head. Are you taking the Texans or are you taking the Broncos? And I can't decide yet. I don't really know what direction to go. Maybe it's because I respect the betting line too much. If I were just going off how weird the line looked as like a casual observer, like let's say this was, I don't know, Green Bay versus the Bears or something, I would go in the direction of the team that's favored by 1.5. But in this situation, with how close we follow the Texans, despite the injury to Surtain, I'm having a hard time sitting here saying, yeah, hammer it, take the Texans.
I just can't figure out why there was so much movement. I mean, because that's pretty significant to go from Broncos at 1.5 point favorites and move it down, move it to Texans to be the 1.5 point favorites at this point. I get that Surtain's good. Surtain's not 2 points good, I just don't know. And then through the 0 as well. Like it's a very weird line. I'd like it much better if the Texans were getting the points. And I think in this matchup, you want to be on the side of the team that's getting the points. Just because it could end up being a really close one, and this is two really good defenses. So typically, when there's two really good defenses, your margin of victory is not huge. So that 1.5 might matter. But I have a tough time picking a team today. I guess I lean Texans today, but if you ask me tomorrow, I might say Broncos. So it's very, very back and forth.
Yeah, it's just something. It's just kind of crazy. It's a weird thing to trust this Texans offense. And I don't know if I trust Denver's offense, but I might trust them more than the Texans offense, which is just kind of where I'm at. And the good news and the news that might add to your concern is Nico Collins and Christian Kirk. They're both back at practice. Nico Collins, he didn't have any visible protocol limits. I guess he has to go through 2 practices. Jonathan Alexander broke this down. He has to go through 2 practices before he's out, but he can endure contact. So he doesn't have like the
before he's out of concussion protocol.
Yeah, before he's out of concussion protocol, just to be clear. Yeah. But he didn't have like the red cap on or anything like that, like we've seen before with guys that have been in concussion protocols. So it looks like Nico's probably going to be good to go. It looks like Christian Kirk is going to be good to go. He told us as much today, which leads to the question, like, how does Nick Caley handle these guys and how do they fit in?
Nico's easy. Like it's to me, it's easy to figure out how to put Nico Collins in this thing and how to utilize Nico Collins and put him out there, because you'd rather him be out there than any of the other wide receivers, including the guys who had, some success this past week. You'd rather Nico Collins be out there than any of those guys. Like you would have gladly swapped any of those guys to have Nico Collins. It's how you utilize Kirk, because he carries more cachet than Braxton Berrios. Like, okay, great. You have Braxton Berrios. You want to use him a little with Jaylen Noel. Like you would, in theory, the way you practiced in the offseason, the way you practiced in training camp, the way that you probably built this thing, you had a
talking about practice
large role for Christian Kirk envisioned if you're Nick Caley. And so now you have him back. He seems to be pretty healthy and ready to go. So that balancing act of, well, this is what I thought I could do with Kirk, and this is what, I need to do with him. You kind of need to lean more towards like, hey, if Noel's rolling, let's go with Noel and sprinkle in Christian Kirk. But it just coaches just really don't really do that often,
Well, these don't. I mean, and that's the concern. You got to wonder about that. Here's D'Amico Ryans. We'll hear from Christian Kirk in a second, but here's D'Amico Ryans talking about the status of Nico Collins.
Nico is technically still in the under the concussion protocol. We're expecting him to clear in the next few days.
Oh, wow. Jeez. Okay. I see you. So that's the good news. We'll get to the bad news in a second, and I think Cody kind of foreshadowed this, and this is going to lead to an interesting discussion about Cody's new crush. But before that, let's hear from Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk is back. We talked to Christian Kirk. I was talking a little crap to him before. I didn't mean it. It wasn't serious. I told him that A&M's in trouble when they play Texas. I don't believe that, and he damn sure didn't believe it either. But we did agree Texas A&M is the best team in the country right now. So I did give him that. And then we talked about what you guys care about, his status with the Texans.
You feeling? How's everything going? You feel ready to go Sunday?
Yeah, just going to progress throughout the week. So far, feeling good. Just happy to be back out there.
When you watch all the other guys get it going like they did as you're watching, do you kind of envision like how you fit into that with keeping those guys going and you at the same time?
Sure, I think it's something that's really encouraging and shows the depth of our room of just those guys being able to step up and to do the most and take advantage of their opportunities. All guys that can do a range of different things on the field, and I think they were all able to display that on Sunday. So definitely excited to get back in the mix. Me and Nico get back out there and just continue to add, a bit of the explosive piece and keep showing what our room can do.
Christian and CJ talked about how with you all back and with the way that these guys have progressed, that you can take it to another level. What could you envision what the receiving core can be like?
Yeah, I just think one that complements, one another. I think we all bring a different skill set to the room and to the offense, and so just playing amongst one another, having a bunch of fun, playing with confidence, playing fast. You see the ability to be able to stretch the field, make the catches over the middle. I think we all kind of have a little bit of that, so it's just, complementing one another.
How did you feel today, and was it the same re-injury or was it a different leg?
I felt good. The injury process has, been going smooth, especially with this one. And, obviously it was an unfortunate thing. But like I said, I've been able to bounce back pretty quickly and looking forward to just, progressing throughout the week and hopefully get out there and feel my best on Sunday.
All right, there you go. So he's not biting the hook on that one, Aaron. That was an alpha move of you to try to kind of sneak that one in, but he didn't bite it.
Hey, bro. Alpha Aaron here.
No biting that.
Was it your left hamstring or your right hamstring?
He ain't falling for that one, Aaron. But I do hope, and I said this yesterday, I do hope that the return of Christian Kirk does not negatively impact what we've seen with Jaylen Noel. Mm-hmm. And Jonathan Alexander asked about the chemistry with Jaylen Noel, and then I asked about why they've been so good with the deep ball. Here's what CJ Stroud had to say about his chemistry with Jaylen Noel.
I said before, it's like failure is a good thing. It's a chance to learn. Of course, you don't want to do it on Sundays, but if it does happen, you learn from it, you fix it. And I think he's super coachable. He wants to do what's right. He's in here, working his tail off, and, at practice doing the same thing. So I think he's going to be a great player, and he's shown that week in and week out, of getting better, learning scheme, learning coverage, and, adapting to it. So I think he's going to be great.
And now he can sit down because we have Christian Kirk again.
I hope not. It would be really encouraging if we could start to see perhaps Nick Caley getting both of these guys roles. And I think the deep ball is the most encouraging thing with these with CJ and Noel, because I think this team has lacked speed. I think that's kind of been why teams have been able to guard the Texans the way they have the last couple of seasons. And I asked CJ Stroud about the chemistry with Noel on the deep ball. Here's what the quarterback had to say.
It feels like y'all have pretty good chemistry on the deep ball early on. What do you think is going into that?
Just practice, and I think natural, God-given ability, maybe able to throw it and then they're able to track it and catch it. So a little bit of both, but I think, we've got some good looks with a couple deep throws, and it's just us being on the same page.
Yeah, and I think there should be plenty more where that came from. I would not be surprised. I've said this, I wouldn't be surprised if Jaylen Noel, CJ Stroud's favorite target a year or two from now. It wouldn't shock me at all. As the chemistry gets better, as he gets a little more crafty, especially on like the easy throws and the non-deep balls. I don't want to say he's a boom or bust guy right now, but I mean, that he does seem more comfortable with the deep ball, but once he kind of polishes his craft, I could see him being like CJ's top target. But I hope that this is just kind of a sign of things to come and it doesn't go away once Christian Kirk gets back and Nico Collins and they find a way to kind of sprinkle it in. And that's kind of the trust issues with Nick Caley that I still have that haven't gone anywhere.
Well, the hope that, I mean, you'll get kind of a early sign with if, Kirk's good to go, which it looks like he's trending that way. If he's active and Berrios is also active, it's like, okay, well, that's too many wide receivers. They're going to try to jumble it up. They're going to take away from Noel. They're going to try to feed everybody. That's not good. But if you get Kirk active, no Berrios, that's at least a good sign that you're not going to try to jam too many of the veterans in there over the rookie. Then it's still up to, okay, Noel versus Kirk. And I have to imagine, even if Kirk's sound on what they want and it runs the routes he's supposed to and does exactly what there's still like a talent explosiveness to Noel that he's showcased already that Kirk hasn't showcased yet. I know he had the one big catch against Baltimore. That game was over when he had that big play. Like that felt like they were trying to get something
going.
Yeah, that hadn't been going.
Yeah, that they could build on before he missed the next game.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of funny? Yeah, because we both agreed, okay, they're kicking their ass. They throw the deep ball to Kirk. Okay, they're trying to get him involved and try to carry this over. And then the bye week happens and he misses the game.
The bye week happens. He gets another soft tissue injury and he misses the game where he was trying to get something going.
Which makes you wonder, like, did he get hurt on that play? Because he's back. So it's not like it. If you do like the timeline of what soft tissue injuries typically are, it's a couple of weeks, maybe 3. Like maybe he actually hurt himself on that play. Crazy enough.
I don't know, but he hadn't made a lot of plays when he has been in there. Jaylen Noel has made a lot of plays. It feels to me like don't overcomplicate it if you're Nick Caley and you're trying to figure this thing out.
Okay. Good luck with that. Join SNL.
Obviously, I understand it's like a possibility. I'm just telling you, it seems pretty apparent to me what should happen. It seems pretty apparent to you and everybody watching what should happen.
Nick. Join SNL 2 days from now, Friday, at Spanky's, Sharpstown. It's going to be fun. We got a lot of gift cards to give away. We got a lot of football to talk. We got a lot of food to eat. We got a Halloween happy hour to enjoy. Homemade doughs, homemade sauces, best menu, best prices in the game. I'm not just saying that. Anyone who's gone agrees. We will see you there. Spoiler alert, I think Cody's probably going to eat some tater kegs.
Yeah, maybe some tater kegs. It's going to be your last crack at the limited time only Spanky's Hurricane, as well as the chicken Alfredo lasagna. So don't miss out on those opportunities as well.
Yes, sir. On Z Soup.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
HDAV says, afternoon, Landry, Cody, and friends. Awesome news about Nico. Yes, it is. We knew he was going to be back. Rich Boy J says, why is it a bad thing for him to confirm which leg? I don't know if it's a bad thing. It's just a Texans thing.
I do also wonder if guy with soft tissue injury history doesn't want to talk about his soft tissue injuries. Just, none of your business. I'm feeling good.
Hey, bro. Alpha Aaron
Are
here.
you saying Kirk hit him with a my body, my choice? What if he would have said that?
Kirk hit him with a, that's a HIPAA violation, Aaron. The old Dusty Baker.
Rich Boy Jay says, Landry, if a player hits you with a you good joke during an interview, are you going to laugh along or straight face? No, I think that would be funny. Yeah, I wouldn't straight face. I'm not straight facing any player, except maybe Brinkman. Maybe Fairbairn too. No, I'm just kidding.
Look, who's the hardo now? Picking on the specialists?
I'm just kidding. I kid. By the way, I bet you I know where Austin Brinkman's going to be this weekend.
My guess is West Virginia is in town to play UH.
He's going to be at TDECU Stadium, which is a great place to be, and TDECU is a great place to do business with, especially if you're a Texans fan, because they got that fresh new logo Texans debit card. TDECU.org/Texans. 15% off Texans gear. Look at that. Cody Stutes has his, and you can get yours as well. Flip it around and show the people. Flip it around and show the people the number.
Yeah.
Number. Yeah, show us the number. But yeah, you can be like Cody and you can get that TDECU debit card. I am a TDECU customer as well. There are a lot of perks at maybe your favorite gas station, all that. Shout out to the greatness that is TDECU. They support CJ Stroud. They support U of H. Got a feeling Mr. Brinkman's going to be there as well, and we want you to be a part of it. TDECU.org/Texans.
Man, the process was so easy. In and out in less than 20 minutes, and I've been out faster if I hadn't sat there and visited so much with Jordan, who got me set up. They explain everything. They walk you through. Hey, do you want this kind of checking account? You want this kind of checking account? It's so easy. And then they look, I don't advise this, but if you're a UH fan, they got a cool UH debit card. I went with the Texans one. Okay. I went with the Texans debit card, but man, they are
too, huh?
What's that?
They got a Cougs too, huh?
Yep. They are awesome over there at TDECU.
Go ahead.
I went to the one over on Greenway or here in Greenway Plaza and in and out in 20 minutes. Got it all set up, got it all squared away, and then I was back home setting up my online banking right after that. It was a blast.
And that's the best thing about them is customer service is a lost art, and it really sucks when your bank half-asses something like that when it's your money. You don't want to talk to an AI person. Some banks, you go in there's no one even in there anymore. That's not what TDECU is. They have that old school feel. They look out for you, and they got some cool stuff.
Everyone talked to me when I walked in. The security guard greeted me. The guy in his front office said hello and goodbye when I was leaving. The two different tellers. One guy asked me if I wanted a water. And then, of course, the person that helped me out. Incredible customer service. So nice. 15 greater Houston area locations. You can also get the process started right there online. TDECU.org/Texans.
And you know what Cody said when they asked for the water? He said, no, I already stole 6 at practice today from the Texans, the aluminum ones. So
yeah, it's real rich from you, Sticky Fingers.
He definitely did not need that with all the waters that he's been stealing lately.
Yeah, it was real rich for you. You treat the water over there.
Swarm.
You treat the water over there like the thieves do at the Louvre with jewels.
Okay. Arnold, I cut my hand with it again, though, today. Again, I'm busting myself open every time I try to open those damn things. They're way harder than the beer aluminum pints. Anyways, too much information, too much inside baseball. Arnold says Jaylen Noel showing shadows of Deshaun Jackson, same height and 40-yard dash. Just a thought. I feel like Deshaun Jackson was a lot lankier though. Like Jaylen Noel's pretty damn stout. He was like he was like, I think he bench pressed the most of any of the receivers at the combine. Deshaun was like lanky, like a lanky dude. But yeah, I wouldn't mind it. Give me Deshaun Jackson any time.
Is he still a coach?
Yes, he's a coach at a smaller school, I believe.
Oh, he's the head coach at Delaware State.
Yes.
Okay, good for you, Deshaun Jackson.
He was like a boy wonder. There's like an under the radar documentary about him that's kind of tight.
Okay.
That basically raised him to be a football player. Did a good job. Did a really, really good job. So some under the radar roster news, and maybe these two things are connected. I would doubt it. But the Texans signed Dalton Keene to the practice squad. I feel like I've seen this guy every day. Now they did cut Jawar Jordan. So maybe Jawar Jordan will be back in some way, shape, or form. But Dalton Keene is on the Texans practice squad.
Yeah, last week to put Jalen Smith on the active roster as he came back from injury, they got rid of Bates, the other tight end. So they went with just 2 tight ends for the game and then still only have 2 tight ends on the active roster and added Keene to the practice squad as a, I guess break glass in case of emergency because they've made it work with 2 tight ends more than a few times this year, but they have him in the building in case something really bad goes wrong with their tight end situation.
Well, and Dalton Schultz did not practice today. Now, D'Amico Ryans was asked about it, and we know, like, D'Amico is usually really, really, really quiet about injuries. Let's hear D'Amico today, though.
Yeah, Dalton didn't go today, but we're expecting to get him back as the week goes on. He's doing well, progressing just fine.
Okay, what's up, man?
Well, That's a surprise on a variety of levels. One, that not only the coach talked about it and was very clear about the explanation, but they expected to be back. So I would guess a limited Dalton Schultz tomorrow at practice. And
I think Dalton, like, this is my spoiler alert. I think Dalton is going to be off every Wednesday for the rest of the season. Like, sometimes
it's pretty valuable.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember there was a time where the Dallas Cowboys gave Tony Romo every Wednesday off. Like, because he was so banged up, it was coming off the injuries and stuff like that. And with how valuable Dalton is and how hurt he's playing, and I mean, we're talking, pick a body part. We're going lower body and shoulder. Like, I would not be surprised if at the very most that we see Dalton Schultz limited for Wednesdays for the remainder of the season. I'm calling my shot on that.
It's not a bad thought. And obviously they really need him, because Harrison Bryant can't do the same things that he does. And it cuts out a piece of your playbook that we're not running this play just because we have Harrison Bryant like we would with Dalton. Like, I don't think that's a 1-for-1 replacement at all. So you do lose something not having Dalton Schultz out there. And D'Amico with the good update after him not practicing is a big positive. And as long as he's on the field for Sunday, then, I could slow my roll and not worry as much, but they're in big trouble if they don't have Dalton.
Yeah, the rest of the injury reports. So Collins, Kirk, and Berrios were all limited. You had Jalen Petrie with a foot. He was limited, but he was out there. And then the guys that didn't practice, we just mentioned Schultz. And then Horton, Autry. I could see Autry being the same as Schultz. And then Laken Tomlinson rest. So Laken Tomlinson's getting some rest. I guess could you imagine if he was playing like full games? Good Lord. He might need the week off.
Juice is like, why am I so tired after practice? Oh, wait, yeah, I had to practice the whole practice.
Laken Tomlinson would miss a month if he actually had to play full games. But anyway, and then you had Jakob Johnson, by the way, designated to return. Part-time practice, little practice observation from the media portion. This is something that only SNL will catch. We pay too much attention to practice sometimes, but I was paying attention. So Jakob Johnson was working out with the running backs, fullbacks, and then he sprinted over with the quarterbacks when they were throwing with the tight ends and wide receivers. So when you're looking at Dalton Schultz and you're wondering about tight end depth, Jakob Johnson, I don't know. I don't even know if he's ahead of British Brooks at fullback at this point. I think they like what they see, but I think Jakob Johnson is like an emergency tight end / fullback type, and they had him working out on both. And we also know that he plays special teams. So that was an early observation for all the nerds out there. I'm one too. Jakob Johnson practicing in both sections.
Yeah, I'll be intrigued to see how long his practice window goes on, because Jalen Smith was opened and then was ready to go right away. There's some roster moves that they have to make if they want to put Jakob back on the roster. So that's something to pay attention to for Saturday afternoon when they have to announce those things.
Correct. Back on the chat.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
Arnold says, is Dawson Knox a good option? What's the feeling surrounding him? Dalton Knox, he means?
No, the Dalton Keene and Dawson Knox.
Okay. Is Knox still, is he still playing?
I mean, he's on the Bills still, but he does not play much.
Yeah, they like their other tight ends. Are they trying to trade him or anything?
I guess he's thinking hey, if the Bills wanted to get rid of him, would you take a swing on him?
I would take a swing on any tight end that has a pulse at this point, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think I
feel like Knox had a touchdown 2 weeks ago.
He did when Dalton Keene was out.
Kincaid. We're missing. We're effing up all. This is like a triple threat of fucking up tight end names that we're on.
You got me all thrown off because you. So this is
crazy. It's 3 DKs: Dalton King, Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid. There's 3 tight ends with DK.
Yeah. This is the new. What did we mess up the other day? The Justin Reed, Eric Reed.
Oh, yeah, that was a long time ago. I thought we'd move past that.
Jordan Reed, yeah.
Jeremiah says, going to say the same thing I said before the Seattle game. I think we get exposed on the O-line and we go back to questioning the Knicks. Very possible. I mean, Denver leads the league in sacks by 10. They have 36 sacks. They have the lowest opposing QBR. They have the best third down defense. Now, obviously, we know what a big part of that is, but how big?
Oh, Patrick Surtain, you mean?
Yeah, like how big can it be? Like I get that he helps, but I mean, you're talking about first place in 4 major categories.
Well, the great equalizer is their pass rush is so good that yes, Surtain does a lot and probably creates some ease for that pass rush, but they can win fast. It's not like they need Surtain to go out there and cover the best receiver for 5-6 seconds for them to get home. Like Nick Benito and Jonathan Cooper will get home on you, and they will get to your quarterback, and they've got some interior guys playing really well. Zach Allen's playing well for them. Like they're very good, very good.
320 with the munchies asks, does that get a race card? Is it worthy of a race card if you have 3 white guys with DK that we're mixing up?
No, because we were getting the first name right. We just weren't getting the last name right. Like I think
Race car.
Yeah, I would say probably not, but
I think he just wanted to hear the sound effect.
this is a hell of a theory by Houston Misfortune. He says Mercedes Lewis hates his family. He's on the practice squad now. If he plays, he will be the oldest tight end ever to play. He's 41. He's D'Amico's age.
He's older than D'Amico.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's older than D'Amico. So we'll see what happens there with that.
Yeah, he played college football from 2002 to 2005.
Yeah, he's a massive blocking tight end.
Yep.
Just like Blake Fisher, who
hey, there you go.
Who we spoke to today. But I think we also asked D'Amico Ryans about him, or someone asked D'Amico Ryans about Blake Fisher. Let's hear from D'Amico, and then we'll hear from Blake Fisher.
We've used Blake a lot as our jumbo tight end, just trying to get a bigger body there on the edge of the line of scrimmage, whether we're running the ball or throwing the ball. I feel like he can do a great job of blocking some of these elite edge players. So that's why we use that a lot, and I think he's done a good job of it. He's gotten better, and we're kind of spicing up the variety of things that we do within that package.
Okay,
spicing up the variety, huh?
Yeah,
it's here to stay. It's here to stay, baby.
And remember, 20 or more eligible snaps for Blake Fisher and 3 wins. You have to get the customized eligible jersey, number 57. So be ready to have to do that, Cody. Does the team shop just do jerseys right away? I think they might, right?
I don't know.
I think they might. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We might be able to get it easier because sometimes that could take a little bit of time. We talked to Blake Fisher today, though. I think tackle eligibility. I think me, you, and Sam might be the 3 stooges of excitement over tackle eligibility. Like, I don't know that this makes too many people excited, but I feel like me, you, and Sam Warren of the Chronicle were really into this tackle eligibility storyline. So us nerdy mofos caught up with Blake Fisher.
Yeah, we reported as eligible to talk to Blake Fisher about this.
So, how are you liking the new role? What's it like? You used to pretty much starting and playing through. What's the new role like? How's it treating you?
It's good. Just whatever they want me to do, whatever they ask me to do, I'm gonna do. For the betterment of the team.
Is there anything extra when they're announcing your name 26 times during the game?
Nah, not really. I don't even really hear it. Honestly, I just, just report. I know I got to do that to make sure there's no, problems, flags, or penalties, and then from there it's just locking on what the play is.
Do you give the officials a heads up, like, hey, this isn't just one time. Like, I'm gonna be here a bunch.
Yeah, they kind of come to me before the game, just to make sure we're on the same page, because they know we do it, often. So. It's just about just communicating with them and making sure they see me when I come into the game.
Are there techniques, are there pieces of what you're doing that are different than when you're at offensive tackle that change? Or that you have
I would say everything pretty much is just the same, really. Pass blocking, run blocking. Just sometimes you can be at the point of attack, sometimes you be on the backside. It just depends on where you're at. We got some shifts and motions in there too that I got to be aware of as well. So it's kind of all like, I got to listen to the whole play call really now, more so than just kind of towards the end of it.
And you just got to be basically on standby with the coach, basically following around.
Yeah, just whenever the 21 personnel, the jumbo personnel comes up, I'm running in there.
When did they first kind of bring this idea up to you, and what was kind of the reaction?
I don't know, whenever the first time we did, I can't remember, what was that, Tennessee, maybe? First time I think we started. And then from there, we just, been putting in more plays, kind of different wrinkles and such. But yeah, Coach Bailey, he's a wizard, man. He be doing a lot of different things. Him and Coach Pop.
And how does it feel that the staff and your teammates are kind of entrusting you in this new role?
Yeah, it's great. Like I said, whatever I can do, to be, a help for the team, I'm gonna do. We have a really good team. Good competition this week in the Broncos, so just going to go out there and compete every time.
Can you catch?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, he says he can catch. Okay.
Man, it sounds like they put a lot on his plate for him to figure out and make sure he's ready for everything. He's got motions and shifts from that spot.
Yeah, there's a lot. It might be a big part of the offense. We'll see. It could get old real fast, or who knows? I think it's definitely something we're going to see a lot of this week. And then we'll see how it works, and we'll see how they adjust.
I like that he called Nick Caley a wizard.
Yeah.
Might be a little
much, but kind of is what it is. It's not too much. Texans turf. Texans turf is just right, and they don't try to charge you too much. They don't try to rip you off. They give you the always green, always clean treatment with the custom stuff that fits your home, the drainage, all that type of stuff. It works. Whether you want a putting green play area. Who knows? My daughter's out there playing right now. She's already wearing her Halloween costume. And you know what? We're not going to have to get grass stains out of it or mud or bugs or anything like that. We'll still probably wash it in fairness. But we probably wouldn't even have to because that's how clean it is. So if you want to have Dan and his team come do your job, whether you need a full soccer field or you just got a small backyard like me, give him a call, TexansTurf.com, and he's got you covered.
You can schedule that free estimate right there on TexansTurf.com. You can look through that gorgeous portfolio and see all the work they've done. Perfect for businesses as well. If you are in charge of the land around your business, or if you have a rental property and you don't have to worry about managing the lawn and all that kind of stuff for the rental property, Texans Turf will take care of you. TexansTurf.com for all of your turf needs.
So give me a guess on the snaps. How many times do we see this week? 26 last week.
I would think pretty close to 20 on the nose, because my guess is they run a little bit less offense because I think Denver's going to be on the field more than San Fran was. So maybe, but I would think right around 2021 would be my guess.
Okay, so over 20 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's look, if you're sending less guys out on routes, it kind of is what it is at this point. It's not like you're capable of blocking with 5. So you use 6.
Not this crew. Not who you're going against this week. You're not winning, with just 5 blockers very much.
Yeah, and I think this kind of falls into like the square peg round hole. Like I think this would be you're adjusting. I do worry about like overdoing it, but it worked against San Francisco. This is a completely different beast.
I have liked how it hadn't been super predictable when it's not like they've only run short stuff or only run the football when he's in there. They hit 4 explosive plays out of it against San Francisco. So they've run different styles of play out of that look. Sometimes Bryant's in there to help. Sometimes he's not. The tight end, I guess I should say. So they haven't been super predictable with it, which is probably a bigger scheme positive, but they've got to be able to be successful. If they're going to take away one potential pass catcher, like they have to be successful with those 4 or 3 guys that they go out there, but you're not going to be successful at all if CJ doesn't get protected. So it's part of a necessity. If you had 5 better offensive linemen than you do, maybe you wouldn't do this at all.
See, I've just kind of learned my lesson with putting any stock in beat up teams or bad teams. So I want to see it against a good team because I don't know that we've seen it against a good team. If you really think about this, you think about this Texans team and you think about where they're at, what their record is, who they've beaten, who they've lost to. I don't know, like outside of the start of the Tampa Bay game, I don't know that we can really point to a stretch and say they've looked good against a good team.
No, they really haven't.
So this would be the first, with or without Surtain. This would be the first. I was thinking about this today, and it really goes to the glass half full, glass half empty. And I know we typically do that on Reaction Monday, presented by TDECU, but on one hand, you look at it and you say they've had moments in games where they could have won, like the fumbles in weeks 1 and 3 and all that. But on the other hand, you can look at it and say, is this a 1-win team if Baltimore and San Francisco aren't just like astronomically beat to shit? Like, and think about that. Like, as much as we say like how things could be better, I don't say either one's right, but I was sitting there and I was driving to NRG, and a lot of times you just kind of start getting the brain flowing, just having thoughts about what you want to talk about, what thoughts are and stuff. And it's like, man, what if like Lamar Jackson and Humphrey and all these
Roquan Smith and Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, like what if they were all healthy? And then what if Brock Purdy, Ayuk, Pearsall, Bosa, Warner were playing? Like, could we be talking about a 1-win team like that with the only win against the Titans? It doesn't matter. Like, they still have an opportunity to get to 500, but it kind of goes back to what the team is, because like on the other hand, I'm just going back and forth on this. And it goes back to the money. Like, on the other hand, like, we made a bet about the Texans winning 3 games in a row. It wouldn't shock me.
No.
It wouldn't shock me if they lost 2 in a row and then beat the Titans. Like, it wouldn't shock me. So that's it's a weird ass team, dude. Like, it's a weird ass team.
They have a much wider range of outcomes than we thought they were going to have. Most of us believed they were going to be a little bit better than they are right now, but that floor is clearly much lower than we could have guessed, and maybe the ceiling's not as high, and we don't truly know where the ceiling is because we haven't seen it against a good football team yet.
Yes, and that's what they got to do. They got to beat a good team, man. To earn trust, you got to beat a good team. Like, there's no diminishing this win against Denver, and I don't think you minimize beating teams' asses that you need to beat. But I do think when you look back, you say, okay, well, there was a little bit of favor there. Like, San Francisco, they're not really getting their guys back. So like, it's not like they're treading water, and like, they're not like Fred Warner's not walking through that door this year. Neither is Nick Bosa. We don't know like what's up with the other guys. So it's not like the reality is the Texans have an opportunity to flip the season, and maybe their record is about what it should be. If we think about it. I know that everyone always quotes they always, it's almost like saying the definition of insanity, where it's like you're saying it like you think it sounds smart, but they quote Parcells and it's, you are what your record says it is. All right. Now let's provide context to that. He was saying that in a negative way. He was not saying that in a positive way. He was saying that in a negative way. He was saying that in a, like, they're 3-6 or whatever. That's what your record says. He wasn't saying it when they were 11-1 or something like that. So the context of that was what Parcells was saying it in, was like in a negative way.
Right. I also think too, like, you look at some of the teams, like the Rams obviously seem to be pretty good. Like, if you'd flipped that one, you'd have like a win over a good team. And I would say the same thing about Tampa. They're obviously leading their division, and they're probably going to run away with it in the NFC South. But I mean, if they were 4-3 and they had a win over the Jaguars, instead of being 3-4 and having lost to the Jaguars, we'd still probably be saying, yeah, you know, the good teams have really kind of handled them, and they've been pretty good against the rest of these teams. Like, they haven't had too many. I mean, Seattle, since that 0-3 start, Seattle's been the only like good team opportunity. Now you got another good team opportunity with Denver. Make the most of it.
Yes. There's no doubt about that. But it can go both ways. I'm not sitting here saying either one. It's just it's kind of hard to
I didn't expect the tackle eligible conversation to throw you into an existential crisis of the Texans record.
It kind of happens. It's sometimes just be like that. But we talked about the playmakers and working them in. D'Amico says he's not really worried about that. He thinks it's going to be fine.
If Nico and Kirk clears, we're hoping that looks great for us. We got two of our top playmakers back out on the field. Anytime we can get those guys out, they add a just explosive element to our offense, playmaker element to our offense that those guys have done it for a long time. So we're excited to be able to get those guys back, hoping the week goes as good as it can go so we can get them back.
I don't know if Kirk's done much playmaker stuff so far.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I don't like, I agree with Nika. I don't know how Kirk fits in. Like, when you say the name Christian Kirk, like as someone who covers the team and all that, he had a good camp, but like now that we're damn near halfway through a season, like when you say a guy like Christian Kirk, I don't know what the hell that means. From where I'm sitting watching him and what his contributions have and haven't been with the Texans.
Well, I just think if these teams are going to treat the preseason like they do, and then we're going to hear so many coaches talk about, yeah, well, a few weeks into the season, that's when you really find out who you are. And after the first month, you understand who your team is, then recent events and recent results should matter more to my understanding of your football team than what a guy did in August with CJ Stroud on the field out there in West Virginia. So it's like I watched Jaylen Noel be really good last week. I watched Jaden Higgins be really good last week. I watched Xavier Hutchinson be good last week. I haven't seen Christian Kirk be good in any football games this year. Maybe some of it's his fault. Maybe some of it's the O-line's fault. Maybe some of it's CJ Stroud's fault. But I haven't seen it. So I would hope that they wouldn't have some sort of like, well, this is what Kirk can do. Like, understand what he actually can do, know what it is, and then don't overthink it. That would be my hope.
Yemen 94 says, Captain Kirk, please save us.
Captain Kirk has arrived. I repeat, Captain Kirk has arrived.
Captain Kirk, can you save me? Captain Kirk, I want to have your baby.
Danny says, has anyone asked about Jimmy Ward? We don't need to. He's there. He's just not. He had a couple of surgeries. I don't know that he's really close. He's in the building. But yeah, I don't know if we see Jimmy Ward this year, but he has been there. He's just not practicing. So we see him ever so often.
He's in like the side workout crew, which we don't really see much. They put him in the bubble and they work out after practice a lot of times.
EPAD, this is a weird super chat. He says, Landry, do you ever rip the Benjamin?
High grade marijuana called Kush on the streets.
I mean, come on.
What do you think?
I mean, come on.
You think Landry's never visited with John F. Kennedy?
So D'Amico was asked about Sean Payton by me. I asked him because they've actually, I said this yesterday, they've met 7 times, 4 times as player versus coach, 3 times coaching staff, 2 times as an assistant, 1 time as a head coach. So he's prepared for Sean Payton before. And I asked him, what's that like? Is there anything unique about Sean Payton? Here's what D'Amico had to say.
Well, I've gone against Sean Payton 7 times, I think 4 times as a player, 3 as a coach. Is there anything unique or special or difficult about preparing for a Sean Payton team?
The most difficult thing about Sean Payton's offense is it's a high volume of offense. So you're going to see a ton of different plays, a lot of variety. He does a great job of, whether it's using a quarterback in some zone read type plays, getting in a wildcat, using his receivers on jet sweep. It's a ton of variety. So you really have to trust your rules. You have to trust your techniques, things you worked from OTAs and training camp. He's going to test all of your rules. So you have to have elite eye discipline, and you have to be exactly where you're supposed to be. It's really a rules, be where you're supposed to be, a disciplined matchup, because he's going to test every single thing that we've had, any issue plays that have come up. He does a great job of attacking it to see if you cleaned up those issues. So we'll get a heavy dose of a lot of different plays.
Yeah, Sean Payton. Boom. Pretty good. I mean, that's I don't know how much wildcat are they running in Denver. I haven't paid that close attention to them. I've watched them. I don't
know if they've run, how much the wildcat they've run.
My favorite trade rumor or trade possibility, like hypothetical trade that I've seen, has been Taysom Hill to the Broncos.
Oh, because the affinity Sean Payton used to have for him.
Yes, that's been my favorite rumor. He's like the Jonnu Smith is to Arthur Smith.
It is intriguing too, and I know Will Anderson said it today, oh, it's not really about them, it's about us. But there are definitely situations, and there are definitely coaches where the D'Amico Ryan's answer is not simply, well, if our defense does what they need to do, our defense is going to be just fine. There's definitely, when you go up against what Clint Kubiak has done in Seattle, you go up against what Sean Payton has accomplished as an offensive mind. There's definitely a little extra where it's yep, they do a lot of stuff. We got to be ready for it. We're preparing for it. And hopefully it works for us on Sunday. There's definitely an element of that with this Broncos offense.
Yes, there is. And it's an interesting, the Sean Payton thing is interesting. His in-game coaching, sometimes you see it and you're like, damn, dude, that is crazy. This dude knows the rule book like the back of his hand. So I wasn't a big proponent of trading for Sean Payton, but I do respect how organized he is and really the job he's done with Bo Nix. I was very skeptical that was going to work. It worked in year one, year two. It looked like it wasn't working. And then suddenly you play two NFC East teams and you get the offense going, and we'll see what that looks like when they play a really good Texans defense. Say what we want. We can throw all the skepticism out, but this is not an easy matchup for them. Sean Payton is not sitting there thinking, yeah, we're going to be able to light it up against this defense.
Their defense has had some really good performances against the offenses that they've played. Their offense has had some very subpar performances, even in victories, against some very just kind of okay, stretches of defense. They had a whole game against the Jets where they looked like they couldn't move the football at all. That carried over into three quarters against the Giants where they looked awful. They didn't just look bad against the Giants. They looked awful for three quarters. And then it just kind of, Bo Nix started playing some backyard football, got a little nuts. The Giants stink, and the Cowboys defense is a joke. So light them up. That's not super impressive.
No, it's one of the most polarizing situations that there is with them. So D'Amico was asked about CJ Stroud's growth and his development and where he has seen CJ improve the most. I was kind of intrigued to hear this. Let's hear it.
Being very disciplined with, the calls in the huddle, being disciplined with his reads and where he's supposed to go with the football. As the season has progressed, I feel like he's done a great job of taking what's given to him. If one is open, he's taking one. He's making great decisions. Also, when it's not there, taking the opportunity to check the ball down to our backs. It was a great play that he made last week to check the ball down to Woody, and Woody runs for 50 yards. That's just about a quarterback remaining disciplined, doing what he has to do, and making great decisions to make sure as an offense we're pressing forward.
Don't you kind of hate that Woody Marks had a 50-yard reception and ended up with 4 catches for 49?
That's not great.
Doesn't that kind of make you think, maybe we need to figure something else out too? Let's get some more of that.
Yeah, but one negative play kind of erases some positivity, I guess.
No, I know, but come on. Yeah, he had a 50-yard, like the long is 50 and the total is 49 with 4 catches.
I think he had a pass for a 5-yard loss, and then I think he had like 2 very small gains from the passing game.
Yes, but we need to see a little bit more of that. Like I have not seen that. I have not seen that.
And that's D'Amico Ryan's talked about discipline, and that's a word that's kind of popped up here in the past week or so with this team. And Stroud has, this past week was a great example of it. He has taken what the defense has given him. I mean, he said it so many times last year, and then he didn't actually do it. And there have been moments where he wasn't doing it this year. But hey, if there was a short pass there, if there was something that he saw and it was quick to get it out, he got it out. It lived to fight another day, and then he sprinkled in. I think he ultimately ended up with 5 passes, 10 yards or more, and 2 of them were for his touchdowns. So he did a really good job, and if that's how they're going to use him, and that's how they need to move the football, then so be it.
He also had like kind of a little reflective moment where it almost felt like he was admitting that he kind of ate the cheese a little bit after his rookie season and got a little bit too high. I thought it was pretty interesting. It was a long answer. Kunkel asked him about religion and thanking God and stuff like that. And then I thought sprinkled in between there was the real meat of the quote, where he kind of admitted that maybe he got a little bit too high after that was on First Tier. I mean, we'll listen to it again, but I don't know if you agree with that assessment.
For a long time, giving God the glory became a routine, and it wasn't from the heart for a little minute, and I became to become prideful and full of myself, and the Lord had to strip me of those things, and I'm very grateful for it. And I've learned that being self-reliant and being, prideful, or you're bound to fall. But the Bible does also say, that He is just, and He is just that He will forgive us as well. I'm just grateful that He's forgave me and gave me another chance to be in this position.
I don't think that was about year 1 to year 2.
Okay.
I think that was about something within the past year or so, and maybe even as far as recent as this season. Because it's, we talked about it like, he doesn't do that as much. And then he mentioned it there, like, it kind of just became routine. Like, I didn't know it became a part of what I did, not how I actually felt or meant it. And it's made its way back here recently. And I wonder if maybe some of the stuff, because the way he talked about the end of the second season, it felt like he was going to be ready to rock for the third season. And then they had this slow start. And so I almost wonder if what he just talked about there was about something that's happened here this season, more so than that year 1 to year 2.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
I would tell you this: a lot of quarterbacks don't give you that at the podium. Like, he's very willing to. I know when we talked about it a lot at the end of the year, that was the end of the year, and the second year didn't really go like I thought it was going to be. So on and so forth. And it was the beginning of the third year, but if it is something that he felt this season, like not many QBs would go up there and tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously been kind of a roller coaster ride the first 3 years. So, yeah, there's CJ getting pretty in depth and pretty candid. He was also asked a little loose question right after that. It was interesting timing where you go, you talk about Jesus for 4 minutes, and then you get asked about your favorite Halloween costume, which I was kind of interested to hear this, and the answer was even better than the initial interest.
I was actually Drew Brees for a couple years. I had a Saints, I don't know, I would go to I don't know, what was Dick's Sporting Goods called back in the day? It was something else before it was Dick's Sporting Goods. So Sports Authority? Yeah, it was Sports Authority. I used to go to Sports Authority, and my dad bought me this little plastic helmet with the jersey and the pants, and he used to throw me 40 passes a night. And I was a little boy. I probably wore that for 2 years straight. But yeah, that's the one I can remember.
Okay.
So he heard somebody throwing Oshman's in there. I hadn't thought about Oshman's in a long time.
Yeah. That's
That was funny. Drew Brees jersey.
y'all didn't catch this, but it was a little bit awkward after he walked off. Y'all did not. It was not on the feed, but Cody asked him if he did whiteface with the Drew Brees, and I was, luckily they turned off the feed on the presser. I thought it was very classless of him, but he said no. Just if you were wondering, he said no, but it was a weird question by Cody.
You're so dumb sometimes. You're so stupid. You're so dumb sometimes. You're an idiot. What Halloween costume do you remember from your youth?
Shea Marin's, man. Shea Marin's, quarterback for the Texas Longhorns back in the day. Scrub. But he also played baseball. But I was Shea Marin's. I was the Tales from the Crypt guy one time.
The Crypt Keeper?
Crypt Keeper had a mask.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's what I remember. Yep. Houston Misfortune has a point. I would expect that from Alpha Aaron.
Hey, bro. Alpha Aaron here.
But not Cody, asking if CJ used whiteface for the Drew Brees.
Just to clarify, that did not happen. That did not happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't. I was just kidding. Cody, tell them about your feet.
My feet.
Tell them about your feet. Tell them how comfortable your feet have been lately, because mine are too. I think you can lay this out for the peeps.
Man, the Brunt workwear boots that they put together for you are fantastic, man. They technology that they put into making sure a pair of work boots are extremely comfortable is second to none. They do a fantastic job. Landry's got the more kind of casual slide on boots. I got these.
The Omens. I love the Omens. And I walked around Vegas in them. My feet, it felt better than any sneaker. It's easy to put on. The Omen boot is the way to go.
I got the work boot. Okay, this one. And when I showed him to Mama Stoots, she goes, "Oh, good. I got a bunch of stuff you need to get out of the garage, and I got some yard work you need to do." And I said, "All right, well, at least the technology is going to be there to keep my feet comfortable." And they've got tons of different stuff at Brunt too. It's not just boots. They've got all the kinds of workwear that you would need to get your various outside jobs done or some of your industrial jobs. High quality work boots and more. You get $10 off at Brunt with code S&L, SANDL, S&L. $10 off your order at Brunt with code S&L. So check out Brunt workwear. Check out the boots. And I mean, they have tons of boots. The hard toes, the slide-ons, the lace-ups like what I've got. Tons of different things. The great workwear, the hats, the sweatshirts, everything at Brunt. So check them out and you're going to get $10 off at Brunt with our code S&L.
Yep. A lot of satisfied customers that are also viewers of the program, and I'm a big fan of it. 320 late night munchie 320. He said that he called Ruben the Mexican Cody Stoots.
You ain't never
Ruben like
race car.
Like 713 Ruben.
I would actually like that's got I don't know if Ruben likes that. I don't know if Ruben likes that. I don't know if Cody likes it either. To be honest, I think it's a two-way thing.
I mean, Ruben's put on a few pounds. He's got a few more pounds to catch me, though.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I feel like it's kind of a hint that he's put on some weight. Calling Ruben that's a weight card. I thought so too. I feel like Cody's losing some weight, and I feel like Ruben might be gaining it. So I think that's what happens.
Cody's hit a little plateau on the losing the weight. So don't.
Black Soul says Landry wears Jordans. I'm willing to bet. I have like one pair of Jordans left. I used to. I just, I have some ones. I have some orange and black ones. That's really it now. I'm not really a sneakerhead like I once was. I never wanted to be like the old man in the Jordans. For some reason, the brothers can pull it off, but it takes a special breed for like a white guy to pull off Jordans at when they get older. Some can, some can't. I can pull off these orange ones because usually it's like a Texas shirt, but I can't pull off a lot. I just can't do it. Very self-aware.
Somebody said, "Can I see the sole of the Brunt boots?"
Oh, big.
Cushion technology right there.
The Omens are crazy. You can just slide them on, and they look good casual. So that's kind of what I go with.
Yeah, Arnold, check them out, man. Check out the website.
Air Force Ones. Come on, you are crazy. Oh, I'm gonna start embracing like the age. I'm gonna go shop for some New Balances. I'm gonna go to like the front.
That's what I wear. I love them.
Not yours, like better than that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking like
Dude.
I'm at least going to the front of Champs, bro. I'm not going to the middle.
Who is the Champs? What are you, 70?
Champs is awesome, dude. Right down here at the Memorial City Mall.
Who goes to Champs anymore?
Champs is the best, dude.
They don't have New Balances at Champs.
Yes, they do. They have everything. You don't know anything about Champs.
You're right. I don't. I haven't been in there in probably a decade plus.
Famous footwear ass.
I made my grandma take me to Champs in the Sharpstown Mall one time to buy like a pair of like Nikes that I really wanted. She was like, they got a lot of shoes here. She's like, why are people lined up for these shoes? I was like, I don't know, but I want the Nike Shocks.
And then when you left, she was like, why are people fighting? Why are people fighting with those shoe boxes?
Sharpstown Mall did have a few of those back in the day.
Oh, dude, this was crazy. So I was in, I'll just say where I was. I was on vacation and I went into like a dispensary. Speaking of the pen, I was getting a pen. And
Jimmy Pendrix.
Yeah, I was getting a pen. And the guy like looked at my ID and he goes, "Oh, you're from Houston." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I used to go out there and sell stuff door to door." I was like, "Oh, damn, when was that?" And he's like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, it could get rough around there. I was like, "Oh yeah, where at?" He's like, "Well, I used to always have to go to the Greenspoint Mall." And I was like, "Oh yeah." But he called it Guns Point Mall. I was like, "Nah, that mall used to be, I used to love going to that mall because they had the clearance Dillards. They were one of like the 15 places in the country that have clearance Dillards. There's still one down there.
West Oaks.
Yeah, West Oaks. But yeah, he started talking about the Greenspoint / Guns Point Mall.
Best.
Oh, what he was selling. I forgot what he said he was selling. But it was like one of those things, I think, where you have to annoy people in the mall or something.
So he was like
yeah, I think it was like at the Greenspoint Mall, like annoying folks in the mill. Remember when they used to do that?
Yeah. He was like he had a kiosk.
Yeah, you know what's gotten out of control?
What's that?
Best Buy has like so many people like just following you around being crazy now, trying to sell you stuff, like cell service now.
Oh, like your cell phone?
Yeah, like the customer service at Best Buy is elite. Like especially if you're if you like make a call there. But like now they have like so many people like going around trying to get you to change your cell phone. Weird. Clipboard.
I know Best Buy has like an internal employee policy that like if they see you unattended for X number of minutes, they're supposed to check on you. But I don't know about the cell phone stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Interesting. On the chat, Chef Hosma says, Cody, you should go as Vader this year for Halloween.
If I can find me a mask, that'd be funny. I have a singlet.
And I'll be Cornette. You be Vader, I'll be Jim Cornette.
Get you a tennis racket.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got 2026 squared away. Vader and Jim Cornette.
Someone says Landry can go as Randy Johnson. Oh, mullet. I guess he's Stutz already has his costume. He's dressed as Gray Zabel this Halloween.
Because I have the mustache.
Yep.
Now the mustache is going away from my costume.
All right.
Live and in person at Spanky's on Friday.
All right. Well, on that note, 2 sleeps till Spanky's. We hope we see you there. We really want to see you there. It's fun mingling with the people. It's fun to be previewing a game that could turn the season around, that the smart people expect them to win, regardless of how we feel. And it's fun no matter what, to be able to cover the squad and talk about it. Tomorrow, back to normal. Practice is going to be moved up, so we'll get back to the normal time. But we appreciate the 400 or whatever we're here in the live chat for riding along. Subscribe, like, ride along. Always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together.
Eat good, sleep good, be good. We'll talk Texans again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.